Paul never taught that the law of Moses was abolished, but rather emphasized its spiritual fulfillment through faith in Christ. While Paul warned against using the law as a means of earning salvation, he upheld it as holy, just, and good, Romans 7:12. He often quoted the Torah and lived according to Jewish customs, even participating in temple rites, Acts 21:24-26. Paul taught that faith does not nullify the law, but establishes it, Romans 3:31. He distinguished between being under the law as a system of legalism and honoring the law through a life led by the Spirit. Paul promoted obedience out of love and faith, not out of compulsion or ritualism. He warned against lawlessness and called believers to uphold God's commandments through grace. Despite this, many have misread Paul's letters, interpreting them as a license to ignore the commandments. Peter himself warned that Paul's writings are hard to understand and are twisted by the unlearned and unstable, 2 Peter 3:16. This twisting has led to the rise of new doctrines that contradict the teachings of Jesus and the apostles. The modern church has often built an entire theology from misunderstood fragments of Paul's letters. In doing so, many have unknowingly created a new religion, one that disconnects from the roots of the faith and neglects the very commandments Paul cherished. The legalism Paul criticized came not from God's law itself, but from the added burdens of the Pharisees, who expanded upon the law of Moses with man-made traditions, many of which were not given by God at Sinai, but introduced later. The Feast of First Fruits, one of God's appointed times, celebrated the offering of the first harvest and prophetically pointed to the resurrection of Christ as the first fruits from the dead. It also begins the count to Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks, during which God gave the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai, showing that God's festivals are deeply connected to both His Word and His redemptive plan.